My earliest memory took place when I was 2 years old. While out shopping with my mom, I became overly attached to the security tag on an article of clothing. I didn't take very kindly to the cashier removing the tag, and upon being informed that it would not be reattached, I threw the largest temper tantrum in recorded history. I was so unbelievably rampant that the ground shook, the sky fell, the strings of existence were unraveling, and my mother cried. I am an angry kid. The way my mom puts it is that every child goes through their terrible twos. But I was special in that I went through my terrible twos, my terrible threes, my terrible fours, and so forth. But God bless my soul, I've come to hide it very well, I do. Especially when I yell at you for asking me a simple question, or yell at someone for liking Indiana and I have an irrational hatred for Indiana. I've come to deal with my anger the only way I know how to deal with any deep-seated insecurity, by completely ignoring it with my ridiculous sense of humor. But in doing so, I've blinded myself to how the nature of my anger has changed. Ebbing and flowing with the subtle shifts in my personality, the tide of flames within me has changed just as I have. The water around the earth is pushed and pulled by the moon and the sun. My moon is who I am, my sun is who I want to be, and the forces constantly gravitating me towards the two have created this flow of oscillating rage around me. I'm now left confused and beginning to lay witness to the destruction the waves of anger have left in their wake. I've eroded myself from the inside, allowing the resentment within me to define who I am. From high tide to low, it feels as though I'm an empty husk, incapable of feeling anything but the rise and fall of this one emotion. Anger permeates my ability to feel anything else, seeping through and corrupting my other emotions until I resent myself and the world around me. In feeling anything besides anger, I feel spoiled. I feel indulgent. I feel like a vainly entitled child begging for a damn security tag. And as I try to rid myself of these thoughts, it feels as though gasoline is slowly filling my lungs until I can't breathe, until I can't yell for help, until I can't do anything but ignite it into the flames I exhale with every breath. I have spent the past 17 years disciplining myself, quelling any desire to feel anxiety, to feel fear, to feel elation, and to feel depression, in hopes that by limiting what I do feel, I can shape myself into the man I want to be. But all what I've done is ensure that the only thing I can feel is anger and self-hatred. I've come to view myself through the lens of self-loathing, smothering my soul in a shroud of emotional autocracy. I have disallowed myself the companionship of self-pity, the comfort of sadness, and the catharsis of tears. You know, the last time that I cried was to a Chinese life insurance commercial that I didn't understand a word of, and I have no idea why. And as I sat there sobbing, looking at those final characters that probably read 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance, I couldn't help but feel a certain relief. My inability to cry has trailed me over the past 4 years, tainting every moment when I wanted nothing more than a searing in my eyes and the taste of salt in my mouth. The moment when I crossed the finish line at my last race to only realize I'd failed at a 4-year goal. The moment when I finally read those words, "Congratulations, you have been admitted into the class of 2018. Or the moment when in the middle of the 27th night of Ramadan, I sat on the ground begging God for forgiveness. All what I could think was, why the hell can't I cry? I wish I could take all those tears I caused my mom to shed and make them my own because she didn't deserve to be burnt by my anger and I need them to quench my soul. But ever since my first experience shopping, I've been painfully aware that's impossible. So I will continue to struggle with my anger while my mom continues to help me through my terrible 17s. I used to think that I could use my anger as a strength, that I could use it to pinpoint and eradicate all the weakness within me, that I could use it to incinerate the hypocrisy I believed is truth, that I could use it to be big enough to reach out, grab my moon, grab my sun, and bring them towards me. But the waves I've created in the process have been much too big for me to handle, and I've spent the past year adrift at sea, struggling to find shore. And as I find it, I realize that I was too foolish to see that any character I had built up was built along the fissure created by my wrath. Like Albert Einstein said, anger only dwells within the bosom of fools. Well, Dr. Einstein, I don't think my bosom is much to look at, but it sure as hell is